Hello everybody, welcome back once again. As always, I am Jay, somebody who's not cool enough to get their own code name yet. Checking in once again with the Energon universe, this time with issue 3 of Duke. The Energon universe has been very successful so far. Transformers number 6 was the highest selling comic this month, so let's see if they can keep the trend going with issue 3 of Duke. So, as always, previously on Duke. After being framed for the murder of Dr. Adelaide Burkhart, Duke goes on the run and meets up with his old pal slash future G.I. Joe member, Clutch, to figure out what the fuck has been going on with him. Clutch discovers that the mysterious technology Dr. Burkhart gave to Duke was in fact a high-powered GPS transmitter, with a signal located somewhere in the western United States. Sadly, the two don't get a chance to act on this information, as two other future G.I. Joe members, Rock and Roll and Stalker, arrive to apprehend Duke for their supposed murder. The two have been apprehended and brought to the Pit, formerly an army installation and now a high-tech super prison. And the issue ends with Duke being given an offer to escape from a fellow prisoner, soon to be revealed as the Baroness. The issue opens up with Destro hauling ass out of his previous base, and, in order to take care of Duke, who has unfortunately survived, has hired the mercenary Major Blood to go and assassinate Duke. Meanwhile, while Rock and Roll and Stalker talk to Colonel Hawk, where the two reveal they think there's something more going on with Duke than just a simple murder. Duke and the Baroness continue their conversation from the previous issue, with the Baroness attempting to convince Duke to join her side and escape from the Pit. Unfortunately, the two don't get a chance to settle this debate, as Major Blood and his goons storm the Pit, wreaking havoc to everything they see as Major Blood goes and attempts to kill Duke personally. Blood is able to cripple Duke and nearly kills him, but the issue ends with Baroness sneaking up behind Blood and shooting him in the head, saving Duke's life, only to hold him at gunpoint herself. This one's just kind of okay. It's not terrible by any means, but I don't particularly like it as much as the previous issue. Really, I think it's because other than Duke and Baroness's conversation, there really isn't a whole lot that happens in this issue. Duke and the Baroness's conversation it's alright. I like Baroness so far. She's set up fairly well. She's pretty stock to what she's usually like in the other shows and comics. And the conversation mostly boils down to her trying to goad Duke into giving up and join her side, which is fine. It's not a bad conversation by any means. It's not the most remarkable thing in the world. I do like Baroness's backstory here. Wealthy aristocrat who turned to spy work for the thrill of it, then went rogue and became a terrorist. It's pretty fun. I do like that backstory. It sets her up as a nice kind of, not quite villain, not quite good guy kind of role like she usually is. That seems to be the angle they're probably going to be going with, is she's going to be more of like a rogue agent rather than specifically being with Cobra, at least for the time being. I kind of like that. And on the other hand, we have Major Blood, who is just immediately the biggest fucking shit heel, and I absolutely love him so far, even though he's not in a whole lot of this issue. I also really like his design, too. It looks really good. It's a nice reinterpretation of his classic look. But beyond that, he doesn't do a whole lot beyond his introduction. His fight with Duke is decent, even though it's really, really short. Oh, and before I forget, we get the reveal that he was the one who killed Dr. Burkhart in the previous issue, which I did not expect, but it makes sense considering he's already tied in with Destro to begin with. Beyond that, yeah, not a whole lot really to say in this one. Again, the art's really good. I really like the coloring in this one. Again, it's predominantly really heavy, kind of saturated blues, since you're in that dark prison cell there. It looks really nice. The majority of the issue spends in that color palette, up until you get to the parts where Major Blood and his goons are storming the compound, and it goes full, it's mostly red and orange tones after that point, which looks really nice. It's a good contrast. But beyond that, yeah, not a whole lot else really to say. It's fine. It's not particularly great. I don't think the series is going downhill or anything like that. I just think this one doesn't have a whole lot really going for it beyond that setup there of the Baroness, so there really isn't that much to say. But it's otherwise good, and I'm looking forward to the next one to see where things go. Yeah, this is probably the shortest one I'm doing so far, so that's really all I'm going to have to say. I will see you all next time.